Hi there guys, I've got an interesting product for you this week. This is an acoustic electric travel guitar by Sonicake. Now this is their first guitar. It's the first time they've done anything that's resembling an instrument. Up till now it's all been pedals and technology related to guitar, but not the instruments themselves. And I think they've done a really good job. Now full disclosure, they have sent this instrument over to me, although they haven't specified that I say anything in particular. They've just said, here's the guitar, fill your boots, go and review it. So that's kind of cool. They're a really good company to work with, I gotta say. So this thing is obviously based roughly on the Yamaha silent guitar. The overall design is very much reminiscent of that. However, the electronics in here are proprietary, and this instrument is all about the electronics since it doesn't really have any acoustic property of its own. So it's important to remember when you're listening to the examples here and in the intro jam, how it was recorded. It's all coming off the undersaddle pickup. Now, if you recorded a 2,000 pound acoustic guitar off the undersaddle pickup, in my opinion, it doesn't sound terrific. It's a very unnatural sound. It doesn't sound the first thing like an acoustic guitar in the room. Now, whether or not the electronics in here sound exactly like the things that they purport to be is dubious, but what it does do is gets you away from that undersaddle piezo sound. So you have various digital emulations of guitar body styles, and you can access them with physical controls. You don't have to connect an app to it, which is absolutely fantastic in my book, and is much better for a live environment as well. You also have a rudimentary EQ in the form of bass and treble, a body control, which kind of adds thickness to the note, especially for single note lead lines, an auxiliary in for jamming along to tracks silently, and of course your headphone out for silent practice, and a USB-C for charging purposes. It takes, in my experience, around about 45 minutes to an hour to fully charge from absolutely completely discharged, and the status LED on here will turn from red to green to indicate that you've fully charged it. It will also flash when it's about to run out of battery. So if you were in a gig, you would see that you were about to run out of battery. And unlike the guitar from the other week, this one you can actually run as you're charging it. So if you had a USB cable that was long enough, you would be able to play a gig, and by the time you got to the end of the gig, you'd actually have a full charge, so that's kind of cool. So I'm going to play you 3 examples here, and what I'm going to hope to show is that not only is it a good sounding little guitar, but there are some very, very different sounds on offer. When you buy an acoustic guitar, you're buying one sound, and then you put a pickup on it, and then you have a fight with that pickup to make it sound like your acoustic guitar sounds. With this one, you've got lots of different starting points, and so with these first 3 examples, these are my basically favorite sounds. I'm going to try and show that you've got a very throaty mid-range sound that's good for finger picking or lead, and then something that's very, very scooped with the 80s kind of chorus on it for maybe an acoustic sound that you would use as part of a backing track. Now, you can't use the effects, you can't use chorus and reverb at the same time. So on the chorus example, I have added a little bit of reverb from Cubase just to make it match the other examples. Now, it would be remiss of me not to play all of the body styles in this video, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. But a couple of caveats here. I've played them all in the same way. I've just strummed the same 4 chords, although I have varied the order of them, don't worry. But you wouldn't necessarily play all of these body styles in the same way. You wouldn't take a parlor guitar and bash on it in the same way that you would a big old dreadnought. But for the purpose of an A/B test, that's exactly what I've done. I've also EQ'd it the same. Now in the previous 3 examples, I EQ'd it to suit the body style. But again, for the sake of an A/B comparison, I've kept the EQ exactly the same throughout all of these examples. I think this is a good guitar, and it's certainly a good first offering from Sonicake. I think it suits a variety of people. It could be somebody traveling, it could be somebody wanting silent practice in a place where they simply can't make enough noise to strum an acoustic. But I also think it's a really good live option since it's impervious to feedback, and this electronic gubbins on here really does get it away from that piezo element sound. And it's good enough that I have already taken it out and gigged it just to see what it sounded like through my PA. I also really appreciate having the onboard reverb. It saved me having to take a secondary pedal board. Now, I'm predominantly an electric player, so if I wanted to play acoustic, I'd have to work a way of rerouting my sound through a pedal board so I could use the same effects. But this meant that it was basically a standalone rig. I actually used it in conjunction with the Sonicake wah volume that I demoed a few months back. So it was an entire Sonicake rig, including the little clip-on tuner here that comes with the guitar. The case that it ships with is absolutely fantastic, by the way. It sits really low on you, so when you're walking around, you have no chance of walking into door frames or any of that kind of stuff. And the process for assembling it using the thumb screw on the end here is a really easy operation. So it's not something that's going to get old. But to be honest with you, the whole thing actually fits in a double guitar gig bag for like an electric or something. So I could carry two guitars with me, acoustic and electric, just in one bag, which is another huge advantage of having such a small instrument like this. So I want to thank Sonicake for sending this over. I appreciate it as always. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video and got something out of it. I'll see you in the next one. Later.